Hello, my warriors. Hello, my dear Enlites. Can you guys see me, hear me loud and clear? Let me know in the chat box. Time to start motion in 1D. Let's move. Get set, go. Ready to fall, ready to move. With me, Shreyas, your physics master teacher, and you're watching the Legend series for all the JEE NEET aspirants. If you're a 2024 aspirant or if you're an 11th standard student, this series is exactly for you. And this is basically your long-term series for all the students who want to excel in all the subjects: physics, chemistry, maths, bio. And obviously I'm your physics master teacher, and I'm going to help you out with your physics preparation right till the end, right from the beginning. And I really hope you guys stay till the end, and for that you need to hit the subscribe button and make sure you have also hit the like button as a Guru Dakshina. And making sure that you like and subscribe is very important, because only then YouTube will suggest your on your home feed the videos that we are conducting on this channel. So let's just say hello, hi to everyone. Hello, good evening, Pravalika, Vidushi, Sabrina, Samuel, Joyce. Hello, Yuvashri, Ganesh. Nice to see you all. Good evening, guys. This is your captain speaking. And those of you who have already started your journey for JEE and NEET preparation, trust me, you are at least ahead of 90% of the students. Believe me. You might be wondering, what? 90%? Yes, you are almost ahead of 90% of the students. If you have reached till, motion in 1D or units and dimensions is already done, not from school perspective, but from JEE or NEET perspective. That's what I'm talking about. In the school, maybe, I don't know, some chapters might be done, or maybe your school admission is just going on. Who knows? So keep it up and keep this momentum going, because we are going to move ahead. And you will see new chapters will keep on coming, new playlists, new videos will be out, and you have to not only watch them but also practice at home. That's the only way you will be able to make it up. Or else at the end of 11th standard you will start searching for videos like, I wasted my 11th standard, what do I do now? Although I'll be definitely with all those students who are really late comers, who will realize after 1 year, oh my god, I had to study, oh my god, so many people are ahead. But I don't want you to be in that situation. I'm going to help everyone, but I will try my best to make sure that you guys stay up to speed. Good evening, Sai. Hello, hi. Sorry, Hari Prasad. Thank you, Pravalika. Thank you so much. Hi, Komal. Good evening. Is it lecture 1? Yes, it is lecture 1, bacha. This is the lecture of motion, kinematics. All right. In different books, this is called differently. Motion in 1D, or it might be just called kinematics. So who knows? So it doesn't matter. You should know the concept. And we are going to deal with all the kinematic equations, the main terms, displacement, velocity, acceleration, and also free fall motion, motion in vertical direction. That's what the aim of today's lecture is. So let's start with distance and displacement. In your car or in your vehicles, you would have seen that there is something called as an odometer, which increments whenever you move. And when you have to sell the car or the bike, you always check the odometer. Oh, this bike has ran for 5,000 kilometers. Oh, this car has ran for 20,000 kilometers. So that odometer gives you distance or displacement. Come on, put it up in the chat box. Yep, it does give you distance. Pravalika, why are you going to miss the classes? Or are you passing out student? I was watching motion in 1D lecture of yours, which I posted 1 year ago. Oh yeah, true. So guys, you can watch my 1 year before videos also. No problems. In fact, those lectures are good. And I would suggest you guys watch the nurture videos 1 year ago. Whatever lectures I have posted, those are brilliant lectures, definitely. Good evening, Adarsh Kumar. So it is distance, whereas displacement is a vector quantity which points from the initial to the final location, and it is basically the shortest length between the 2 points. Like, for example, there is a Pandu over here. Okay, there is a Pandu. You can see this Pandu. You know what Pandu does? If he has to go to the school and then come back, while going to the school, or maybe from the classroom to the playground, how Pandu runs is like this. This is his class, this is the playground. Zoop, he goes like that. But from playground to the classroom, he goes like this. He says hello. He will visit younger kids. Oh, 9th standard kid, he will eat something from the canteen, then he will do something in the toilet, he will aram se take his time, and aram se will come back. So this is basically your distance, this is your displacement. I hope you guys get the idea. Thank you, Liki, so much. Good evening, Pranav. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So right now over here, this is your displacement. It is a vector. Whenever you have a vector, you put an arrow or a bar over it to show that yes, it has some directional information. If this is the initial location and this is the final location, this is your displacement vector. This is your displacement vector. And this thing over here is nothing but distance. Usually the symbol for that is d. So path length is basically your distance. This is your distance, which is d, and the displacement is the shortest distance from initial to final location. That is S vector. This is a vector, this is a scalar. Awesome. I'm pretty sure many of you are relating to it. I can see the joy and the laughter on your face. Very good. Many of you Pandus and Champas are exactly like this, you know? And if you have been doing this, you are not alone. Even I was doing the same thing. Okay. Now, if you talk about distance and displacement, the magnitude of distance is always more than or equal to the magnitude of the displacement. This is always true. You can see that the value of d is always going to be more than the value of s. In a very special case, it will be equal to. That's why you can see that equal to symbol. That's when you are moving in the same direction without changing anything. So in that case, distance as well as displacement will be the same thing, obviously. Great, great, great. And is it possible out of distance and displacement, is it possible out of distance and displacement that distance is 0 or distance is not 0? Okay, distance is not 0 and displacement is 0 or non-zero. Look at this. Displacement 0, displacement not 0, displacement 0, displacement not 0. Which of these things are possible? Just try to imagine this scenarios. Distance is 0, displacement is 0. Is this possible? Yes or no? Come on, think about it. Distance is 0. That means you have not traveled. Like a donkey. Have you seen a donkey, guys? Have you seen a donkey? What does a donkey do? It just stays there. Nothing it does. Bah, it just stays there, right? So donkey has no displacement, no distance. Oh, come on. Yeah, this is possible. Distance is 0, displacement is not. My goodness, how is this even possible, guys? Like, you have not traveled, but you have displaced. You have not traveled. Thank you, Pravalika, so much. Means a lot. Love you too, guys. You have traveled from one place to other. Pandu moved from here to here, but he has not traveled. What nonsense. This is not possible. It blows my mind off. This is never possible. You have not traveled, but you have displaced. How is it possible? Doesn't make sense. You have traveled, but you have not displaced. Is that possible? Think about it. Yes, this is possible. If you come back to the same path, you go running on the playground and you come back to the same point. Yes, you have come back to the same point. Displacement is 0, but distance is not. This is possible. Distance and displacement not 0. That is definitely possible. You move from here to there. You have displaced and you have moved, traveled along a path. This is also possible. Awesome. Great. Now, usually the way you write displacement, especially in 1D, is like this. It is the final position minus the initial position. You can also write this as delta x. So that is just the change in position. So it gives me the displacement. Displacement is final location minus initial location. Example, just to give you, imagine I move like this here. So let's say this is x is equal to 3. Let's say this is x equals to 5. I have moved back and forth many times, but this is final, this is initial. So my displacement will be final, which is 5, minus initial, which is 3, which is going to give me 2 meters. That's the answer. So that is how you get displacement, which is also the change in position. Do not forget to join the Telegram channel. The link is there in the description box. That's where you get updates, notifications, and the PDFs along with the homework solutions for all the lectures. So make sure you're a part of the beautiful community that we have, and let's start with some questions. A particle moves in a circle of radius r from point A to point B as shown. The distance and displacement covered by the object is how much? Very beautiful question. I'm waiting for the classes for so many months and the wait is over. Vishal, by the way, I started the class sometime back. Not just this one, even the previous lectures. Make sure you have watched the previous lectures as well. Okay, if 2 options are correct and all the 4 answers are chosen, then you will not get partial marking. Pranav, sometimes they do not give, sometimes they give. You need to check the instructions carefully. I'm just going to make this diagram a little bit big. It is very small. Okay, I made it bigger. Great. Let's try to do this. Good evening, Nazia. Already joined Samuel. Very good. Hello, Srisha from Bangalore. High five. Me too. Namma Bangalore. How many subjects I study every day? Because I have only 5 hours. 2 subjects. In 5 hours, you can study not more than 2 objects. Ideally 1, some days 2 when the load is more. So let's try to do this question. Question is the distance and the displacement covered by the object. Distance will be this length. So distance is nothing but the length of the arc AB, and the length of the arc is nothing but the angle divided by 360 multiplied by 2 pi r, assuming theta is in degrees. So theta is nothing but 60 degrees divided by 360 degrees into 2 pi into radius. Radius is just r. Okay, so this will become 1/6. So 2 by 6 is nothing but 1 by 3. So pi r by 3 should be the distance traveled. That is the first thing. So I have found out what is the distance. Everybody with me on this? Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Hello, Ella. Good evening. Awesome, guys. Let's try to do the next part now. How do we do the next part? Look at this. The displacement. The length of the arc will be obviously more than the chord AB. This will be your displacement. This will be your displacement. And this goes from this point to this point. This is your displacement vector. So what is the length of the displacement vector? Magnitude. So this is the magnitude of the displacement. It will be basically the chord AB, not arc. I hope you know the difference between a chord and an arc, right? So this is a chord, that is an arc. Now if you notice this beautiful triangle right over here, the included angle is 60 degrees. Both the sides are going to be r each. So this side, if it is equal to this side and this is 60 degrees, it has to be an equilateral triangle. So guys, this is an equilateral triangle. So all sides are equal. So hence the length of the chord AB has to be r. So that is the displacement. That is the second answer. Done, done. Everybody with me on this? NIT Trichy Metallurgy? Yes, you can take it. Depends what you are comparing it with. Hello, Khushi. Welcome. Awesome. Awesome, Nazim, Niharika. Great. Awesome, Samuel. Lot of students are from AP, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, Northeast, even students from Maharashtra, and you know, so many places, guys. And I'm so proud that so many students from different parts of this country are here. Not just that, I have checked the statistics, and there are many students from UAE, from Arab nations, and also some students from Singapore, some students from US, and some students even from Africa are watching JEE Enlite. So you should feel that you're a part of a very big community. You're a part of this big community. You should be very proud of this. So let's move on to the next question coming up on your screen. Here it is. Yep. Lower NIT, EEE, depends which NIT. Varshan rocks, how about you leave a comment after the video? I'll probably reply. A particle starts from the origin, goes along the x-axis to point this much, and then along the same line returns back to minus 20, 0. The distance and the displacement of the particle during the trip are, let's see. Yep. Samuel, I have fans all over India and you have friends all over India. Isn't that true? Okay, let's see. How many of you can do this? Oh, Vishal, let me check out Instagram, bacha. Okay, think distance as well as displacement. If you draw the diagram, I think things will be a little bit clearer. So draw the number line. This is your x-axis, beautiful x-axis. This is the origin. So let's see what Pandu has done. Pandu has basically traveled. Where did he travel? He starts from the origin and goes to 20, 0. So he starts from origin and goes to 20, 0. This is 20, 0, of course. And then what he does, he returns along the same line to minus 20, 0. So he comes back over here. This is here. This is the final location, minus 20. is the x coordinate. Question is, what is the distance and what is the displacement? Obviously, if you notice the distance, that will be this 20 in the forward direction plus 20 to minus 20 is 40 in the backward direction. So total will be 60 meters. That's the distance. Oops, sorry, why did I put a bar? My bad. So that is nothing but the distance, 20 plus 40. Now talking about displacement, displacement is nothing but final position minus initial position. Final location is minus 20. Initial location was 0. So that's it. The answer is minus 20 meters. So that is the displacement. Done, done, done. Done. So which option is it? C or D? No, guys, it is D. It is not C. Be careful. Oh, right. So I think we have done it. Yep. There we go. 60 and minus 20. Great. Great. Awesome, Ishan. Very good. Very good. I'm proud of you. Keep it up. Keep it up. And I can see your progress. That's really, really satisfying, bacha. Okay. I mean, I'll be conducting a special lecture for counseling for all the 2022 aspirants. Hold on for that. In fact, all the 2022 aspirants who are coming here in the 11th standard lecture to meet and ask me, sir, please tell me which college I can get. Don't worry. I will be conducting a special counseling session very soon. So let's start with the next question. And before that, I think we need to do velocity and speed. Awesome. Legend, Prachi. Great. You are a true legendary JEE Enlite student. And Shreyas sir fan club president is also here. My goodness. The president of Shreyas sir fan club is not Shreyas sir. Okay, I don't want to be president. You be the president. But great. Thank you so much, guys, for all the love. So what do we have over here? We have velocity and speed. There is a small difference, just like there is a difference between distance and displacement. So here we go. Pandu travels from this point to this point like this. Okay, let's say this is the distance traveled. So the displacement will be exactly this one. That's the displacement. So just the same difference as between distance and displacement, you will find it between velocity and speed. Velocity is nothing but how much is your displacement and how much time did you take for it. So velocity is v bar, displacement is s bar, time taken is just t. So that is your velocity. That's all. Displacement by time. Now obviously the unit will be meters per second. How many meters you travel per second, or kilometers per hour, or centimeters per second, who knows, depends on what you are writing things with. Similarly, if I have to write just a speed, then I'm just going to say this is nothing but how much distance you travel upon how much time you take for it. So the speed symbol usually again v, distance traveled is d, and time taken is t. That's it. That's the symbolic way of writing velocity and speed. Velocity, of course, is a vector quantity. Speed is, of course, a scalar quantity. Velocity has direction. Speed, you cannot specify direction. Imagine somebody asking, what's the top speed? I bought a Ferrari, okay? And then somebody coming and asking me, sir, what is the top velocity of your car, sir? And I say, it's 300 kilometers per hour. And that student is like, sir, in which direction? North or east? I will slap him. I will be like, what nonsense are you asking? Don't worry, I will not slap. I'm just kidding. Just the thought. Crazy, right? Who will ask, sir, what is the top speed of your car? In which direction? North or east or west or south? Like, what are you asking, man? Top speed you will ask, not top velocity. Speed does not have direction, right? So same way. Remember, this is vector, this is scalar. You do not worry about direction in scalars. That's speed. Great. Now, usually this velocity is not called just velocity. It is called as average velocity. Actually, this is called as average velocity. And this is not just speed. This is actually called as average speed. Yep. Right, Ananya. It can go in any direction. And the symbol for average, you can either write V average like this, or many books use this, triangular brackets. So whenever you see these triangular brackets like this means average force. It's the symbol for average. Keep this in mind. So you see these triangular brackets, that means it is average. Now this over here, like you can see, this is average speed. So this is average speed, which is distance by time. So these are the definitions of average velocities and speeds. Okay. Now there can be also instantaneous values. I'll come to that. But before going ahead, let me talk little bit over here about this average velocity definition. Average velocity is displacement by time, but just some time back I just told you what is displacement. Displacement is change in the position. So how about writing average velocity as the change in the position upon the time, the change in the position vector upon the time, right? This is what I can write. This is your average velocity. Now, what is the difference between average and instantaneous? Instant means at that moment. At that very moment, what is your velocity? I'm accelerating. My speedometer is going zoom like this, 20, 40, 60, 80 kilometers per hour. At every instant, my velocities are different. I might be turning like this. I might be turning like this. My velocity is now in north. Now my velocity is in east. Now my velocity is in northeast. Now my velocity is in north. So every instant my velocity is different. Average velocity is completely different thing. Instantaneous is at that moment. And at that moment, if you want to find the velocity, what you need to do is very simple. You're going to reduce the time interval. Average, you have a large time interval. You start at one time. Okay, t is equal to 0 second. Okay, you are moving like this, like this, like this. Now the time is 25 seconds. Okay, so 25 seconds is the time interval. But when we talk about instantaneous, you should give a very small value of time, and therefore I define instantaneous velocity like this. Instantaneous velocity as the displacement in the smallest, or displacement in the smallest time interval, upon that smallest time interval over here. Very, very small time interval. You give me like 0.0000000 something 1 second like that. So that instantaneous velocity, you no longer use the symbol delta x by delta t. That is wrong. You write it as dx by dt. You might be wondering, sir, what is this? It's the same thing, right? Instead of writing delta, you wrote d. There's a small difference between delta and d. Example, let me tell you over here. See, I can say delta t is 1 second. I can say delta t is 0.1 second. I can say the time interval is 2 hours. I can say the time interval is 5.8 seconds or 5.8 minutes. I can say the delta t is 1.23 seconds. I can say all these things. But dt, be careful. dt's value, I cannot say dt is 0.001 second. No. Is the dt 0 second? No. Is dt 0.000 infinite zeros and then 1 seconds? No. Then you'll be like, sir, what is dt? Nobody knows the value. It is infinitely small value. dt is basically something which tends to 0. dt becomes very close to 0 but not 0. That's the beauty of dt. So that is dx by dt. dx is a very small displacement. Smallest, you can probably not even imagine it. And dt is the smallest time interval that you can think of. Okay, so that is how you define instantaneous value. Now some really legendary student, not legendary, ultra pro max legendary student will come and ask, sir, d and d cancel, sir, what are you doing? So I can write this as x bar by t. Then for such ultra pro max legendary student, I'll be like, okay, if you can cancel this, then how about cancelling this delta and this delta also? Then the student was like, yes sir, you taught me new maths, I will cancel here also. Great. Then I told him, do one thing, my dear student. If you are cancelling it here, no. Then do one thing. Sin theta by cos theta. Do one thing, cancel theta and theta only. Wow, amazing. So sin theta by cos theta is sin by cos. Of what? No, I don't care. Epic. This is new maths. Okay? So please don't learn this epic, ultra legendary Pro Max version of maths from anyone. Okay? We cannot write like that. Very good, very good, very good. Classes at 7 o'clock, Nazim. Yep, they will not cancel. It's just a representation, d of x. Think of it like d of x. It's not dx. It's difference of x. This dt stands for difference of time. Small change in the time. That's what it is. Great. Now that you have learned what is average and instantaneous values, let's move to acceleration and retardation. You are going in a bus. The bus driver slams the brake. You go slipping and fall and bang into somebody. That person slaps you. That is retardation. Correct? Somebody brakes suddenly, you go and fall onto somebody. That second person will give you an angry look or he will slap you. Very nice. Acceleration. You want to show off, you bought a new car, you got a new bike, you press the accelerator, zoom. Your hair will go behind, your mouth will go behind, your head will go behind, and that is what is acceleration. Braking, you go front. Acceleration, you go behind. That is braking and acceleration, guys. Retardation and acceleration. So, what is this exactly? This is basically how quickly you change your velocity. My bike, sir, I got a new bike, 0 to 100, 5 seconds. Other person, my new electric vehicle, 0 to 100, 4 seconds. Another guy is like, oh my god, my scooter is so bad, 0 to 100 in 1 minute. This is very bad scooter. Okay, so that is acceleration. How quickly you can brake, how quickly you can accelerate, how quickly you can change your velocity. So yes, that is basically the rate of change of velocity, that is acceleration. Exactly. So here it comes. Acceleration is rate of change of velocity. Excellent. So I can write acceleration. By the way, average acceleration, this is the same as average acceleration. It is the change in velocity, final velocity minus initial velocity upon the time that you take, upon the time taken. So I can just write the average acceleration as final minus initial, that is change in velocity by the time taken. I can just write it as delta t. So this is what average acceleration stands for. Everybody with me? What will be the unit? The unit is meter per second square. You can see that. Meter per second by second. Meter per second by second. Meter per second square. Velocity has a unit of meter per second in SI units. If this is average, can you guys think quickly and tell me instantaneous acceleration? Instantaneous acceleration. Instantaneous acceleration will be at that moment what is the velocity change. I might be accelerating slowly, then fast, then a little bit slow, then fast. Every instant I'm accelerating by different amounts. My velocity is changing by different amounts in the same interval. So come on guys, think about it. What will be the way in which the manner in which you are going to write the instantaneous acceleration? JEE Mains preparation, HC Varma, Tattva, that's all. Just like average velocity was delta x by delta t, instantaneous velocity was dx by dt. So same way, if you think about it, delta is a large interval. Make it small, but don't make it 0. Don't make that 0. So what will it become? It will become dt, and here it will become dv. Done. That is your instantaneous acceleration. Yes, it's a vector. Never skip that bar over there. It's a vector quantity, of course. It's all vector. That is how it is. dv. What is dv? Small change in velocity. What is dt? Small change in the time. The very small time. How much did that velocity change? At that instant, you are going to tell me that. That's what it is. Great. Now, that we have spoken about all these things, also let me tell you little bit graphically. This is very, very important. Imagine somebody draws a graph of position and time. Somebody draws, at this time you are here, at this time you are there, at this time you are here. It's a graph, it's a chart. You might have seen, right? Share market graph, height graph, weight graph, trends of virus. This day, so many people affected with COVID. This day, so many days, so many people affected with COVID. Number of people coming out of the hospitalization. So many graphs you would have seen in your life. So this is also a graph. It's a standard thing. Graphs, charts are a part and parcel of life. You cannot say, oh my God, graph problems. No. Okay. So imagine guys, what I'm going to do. I'm just going to draw some random graph. Particle is going up, down, left, right, God knows. It's doing something. If I tell you, find the velocity, you know what you're going to do. Observe carefully. At this time, I know where it is. How? Like this. I know at this particular time it was here. So this becomes my initial position. At some other time, I will try to find where is that particle. That is your final position. This becomes your delta t. This becomes your delta t. This becomes your delta x. So the average velocity will be, if you just think of this beautiful line which is joining these 2 points, you get a beautiful triangle right over here. You get a beautiful triangle right over here. You can see that right over here. So the height of the triangle will be delta x. The base of the triangle will be delta t. So it is height by base of such a triangle. Height by the base of that triangle. Do you see that graphically? Yes, silent killer, you can change the topics in the block strategy. You can do block 1 in block 3, block 3 in block 2, but do it as a block completely. Within the block, don't change the topics. Yeah. So this is also sometimes called as the average slope, the steepness. If I travel this much, how much I go up? If I travel this much, I go this much. If I travel this much, I go more up. So that is the slope. It is also called as the slope of that graph. This is also called as the average slope. Average because you are taking 2 very far away points. Average slope of that particular graph. X versus time. This is how it looks like. Everybody fine till this point? Cool, guys? Similarly, if you look at acceleration, right? You can do the same thing. If somebody tells me this is time, this is velocity, and somebody gives me that the velocity is changing something like this. Velocity decreases, increases, decreases, increases. And somebody asks me to find the average acceleration. What I'm going to do? Okay, at this time, my velocity was this much. This was initial velocity. At some other time, I will try to find what was my new velocity. This was my new velocity. This is V final. So this is going to give me delta V. This is going to give me delta T. If I draw a line joining these 2 points, I get a beautiful triangle over here, right angle triangle. The height of the triangle will be delta V. The base of the triangle will be delta T. So what I'm getting over here is again the average slope of velocity versus time graph. Velocity versus, this is versus time graph. Everybody with me on this? Yeah, I hope this is clear. Yeah, you can use geometry also. You can also write this as tan of theta. So if you know the angle, right, you can also write it as tan of theta. Some people also like to write it like that. If I mark this as theta, this will be also tangent, tan of theta. The same thing I can also write it over here in the case of this one. If I mark this angle over here as theta, I can also write opposite by adjacent is also tan of theta. This is something which you should know. Awesome. I'm so happy for you, Rashmi Sheikh. Awesome. NIT Warangal is a very good NIT. Proud of you. Keep it up. Keep it up. Successfully not getting Varsha, don't worry. We can see what we can do for you, if there is some college which you might actually get, will try to do some kind of counseling, leave your comments with your marks percentiles maybe after the session. All right. Yep. This is 2024 JEE NEET batch, Deepa. This is exactly what you are watching. This is the 11th standard batch. It's called as the Legends, Legendary series. So how about doing some questions on this maybe? Let's try to do some questions, and here it comes. Yes, can acceleration be the second derivative? Yes, Legend Prachi, it is the second derivative. We'll be doing derivative questions also maybe in another class. Today's lecture is not so much on derivatives and slopes. I will keep Sai Charan, but right now, just give me this 1 week or few weeks till the JEE students pass out from 2022 batch. Okay? Because we have to do some things for them also. Once they are done, then you will see more frequency of these classes. Awesome. A particle is moving at 3 meters per second towards the x-axis, reverses the direction of the motion without changing the speed in 0.2 seconds. What is the acceleration? Let's see how many of you can do this. Come on, my warriors. Think about it. Let's see how many of you can do this. Come on. A particle is going with a speed of 3 meters per second. What it does, it turns and goes back with the same speed. What is the acceleration if it has done all these things in 0.2 seconds? Just use the definition of acceleration. I'm pretty sure you will get it. Acceleration is final velocity minus initial velocity by the time. I'm just interested in the magnitude, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, vectors, simple vectors. Come on, my warriors. Think about it and how much is the answer. I know I have not put up the options. Try to do this. Shreyas saying 1.5. Look at this. Final velocity is 3, but in the negative direction. So minus 3 I cap. Everybody agrees? Minus 3 I cap because it is in the left direction. If you don't want to write I cap, that is still okay. This is final velocity minus. What is the initial velocity? Initial is 3 in the x-axis. So it will be 3 I cap, right? The whole thing divided by the time. What's the time interval? It is 0.2. Minus 3 becomes minus 6. So this will be minus 6 divided by 0.2 I cap. And 6 by 2 is 3. 6 by 0.2 is 30. So hence it will be minus 30 I cap. So magnitude wise, the acceleration is 30 meters per second square. This is also meters per second square. This was just telling you the direction, but this is the magnitude of it. 30 is the answer. Yes, Ishan. Yes, Vidushi. Awesome. Many people forget that minus over here. So they write 3 minus 3. Final velocity 3. Initial velocity 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. Sir, acceleration 0. How many marks will you get? You will not get 0 marks. You will get minus 1 marks. Negative marks. Be careful. Look at the direction. Velocity is a vector. Direction. So who will put that minus? So minus 3 will be minus 6. Be careful. Awesome. Great. Sir will teach for NEET students. Pikachu, meet out. This is for NEET also. Pikachu. Don't say that. This is for NEET and JEE both. Yes. Sai, I hope you watched my JEE Advanced session. Erodo problems. One of the tough questions. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to conduct more sessions like that. Yeah. Tatwa and PYQ and class notes and class assignments. Enough, Miru, for JEE Advanced. Punita, I'll tell you something. Even I got very less marks when I started preparing for JEE. In fact, when I started my preparation for JEE, in the first test, as far as I remember correctly, I got single digit marks in physics. Single digit. But I did not lose hope. I know I am going to do really good in the days to come. I did not lose my cool. And by the end of, the 2-year program, I was the topper in physics. So things can change. You just need to hang in there, watch the lectures, solve the questions, do not give up. Okay? Come on guys, buckle up. I'm pretty sure you're going to do well. Let's go to the next question coming up on your screen. And yeah, before that, uniform and non-uniform motion. What is uniform motion? What is non-uniform motion? See, if I tell you a particle has uniform velocity, what it means is the velocity is constant. Example, in this graph, velocity versus time, the graph will look like this. Or if it is position versus time graph, it will look probably like this. It will be a straight line in position time. In velocity, it will be a flat line. That is uniform velocity. The moment I use the word non-uniform velocity, that means velocity is changing that means the velocity is changing. So how will it look like in the velocity graph? Maybe it might just look like this, or maybe it might just look like this. In position time, it might just look like this. So that is non-uniform velocity. Velocity keeps on changing up and down. Okay. So moving on to the next one, uniform velocity, non-uniform velocity. If this much is clear, let's move on to the next part. That is uniform and non-uniform acceleration. So if I say a particle is going with uniform acceleration, that means the acceleration vector is basically constant. So if I have a graph of acceleration versus time, the graph will look like this. This is uniform acceleration. But if you have something which has non-uniform acceleration, then it means acceleration is changing. Every time I am having new values of acceleration, so the graph might be like this, or maybe it might be just like this. So this is non-uniform acceleration. Selva, in fact, I have asked all the students to ping me on my Instagram if you have some problems or issues with your marks card or your percentile scores. Show me the proof, because that's the only way I can create a video out of it. Gather all the students, send me that proof of what things have gone wrong, where you are expecting something and what has happened. So once I have the proof, I can make the video so that we can all stand for you, and I want to fight for you. Okay, I'm always with you. Don't worry, bacha. So acing, maybe towards the end of the video, I'll probably try to answer that. All right. Shall we do some questions based on uniform and non-uniform motion? Here comes the first question on this. Which of the following graph represents uniform motion? A, B, C, D. 4 options are given. The Tattva modules, Vishal, you will get it when you join Vedantu Pro. So when you are a part of Vedantu Pro, either the AI Live, Classic Pro, you get the Tattva modules. Only in the Pro Plus or the Classic Pro, you will see that you will be getting the hard copy of the Tattva modules. So otherwise you will be getting the soft copy, which are interactive, as in like you can scan the barcodes and you can get your relevant information related to that topic or that particular question. Yeah, uniform motion, you can say uniform velocity motion means equal displacements in equal time. Yes, Sajala, you can say that, but that's a better way. Vishal Lakshminanthan, there is a link in the description box. If you are watching this video, just go to description box, click more. You will see some links. If you are a 2024 or 11th standard student, click on the 2024 English link and you will see it will open up, and you will see the 3 subscription models will open up. You select whichever is the best for you. Make sure you use the coupon code SHHPRO so that you get maximum discount. And you can get in touch with me if you need any help. All right. So the correct answer is indeed A. Which of the following graphs represents? Oh, what nonsense. Is A. The answer is none of these. Why did A come up? Sorry guys, this is wrong. A is not correct. Here you can see the velocity has changed. The velocity has changed from up to down. No, this is not. This is not uniform. This is not uniform. The answer is none of these. Sorry guys, the option A is wrong. Yeah, if you take a part of it and part of it, then it is correct. This part is uniform, this part is uniform, but together it is not uniform. Okay, so A option is wrong because the velocity has definitely changed from this part to this part. It is D. Moving on. Which of the following graphs is not possibly, it cannot be possibly represented in one-dimensional motion of the particle? Look at this graph, look at this graph, look at this graph, and look at this graph. I think one or more of them is not possible for one-dimensional motion. Come on, think about it. Legend Prachi saying D, Srinath saying D. Yuva, I know in schools and many integrated programs, you know what they will do? They will just rush through the syllabus. They always want to cover the syllabus. So that's the worst part of learning or preparing for an exam. Whenever you are preparing or learning for an exam, and if you have been taught in a way to just cover the syllabus, that means things are not going right. The way we look at syllabus completion is not to cover the syllabus, but to uncover the syllabus. You have to uncover the hidden gems, hidden truths, the hidden concepts in the problems. So when you uncover the syllabus, you are in the right mode of preparing for JEE and NEET exams. So let them do whatever they want. You try to uncover the subject. I know about it, COD Raider. I've been telling about this maybe in smaller circles to all the students, and many students have faced this issue, especially the students who are passing out. That amount of rigorous study is not needed for JEE. You need time for yourself. You need to be given time for yourself for self-study. The correct answer for this is all of these. All of this. Okay, so let's try to see this, guys. How do we do this? First of all, distance. It is distance. How can distance decrease? How can distance decrease? Distance always increases. So this is not at all possible. Even if you come back, distance will still increase. It will add up. It will never decrease. How can you go back in time? You know what has happened? It's as if saying at this instant of time, you have two positions. How can you have two positions? How can you come back in time? It's like I traveled and I came back in time and now I'm back at the same place. So at the same time, I'm at two different places. What nonsense, not possible. How can speed be negative? This is not possible. This is also not possible. In fact, this was also not possible. What about this? Velocity and time. This is also not possible. At the same instant, I have two values of velocity. Not possible. I have this velocity also, I have that velocity also. How is it possible? Nothing is possible. Answer is D, all of this. Oh my God, my mom will kick me, it seems. Crazy. Yeah, unless you're a subatomic, crazy, Doctor Strange kind of thing. Very true. Anthony, join in late, bacha. 7 o'clock, class timings every day. Now let's talk about the famous kinematic equations. Now the most important thing about kinematic equations one person should know is these equations are valid only if acceleration is constant. What to do if acceleration is not constant? That is derivatives and integration. We'll be dealing with that separately in another class. Valid only for constant acceleration. So say for example, we have somebody whose initial means time is equal to 0, velocity is u, and that particle or that bus or that car or that person travels some displacement and acquires a final velocity v. This is basically final or last velocity at time t. Okay, this is time t. Then the equations look something like this. Okay, final velocity is initial velocity plus acceleration into time. You will use this when especially time is known or time has to be found and velocities are also known initially and finally, or initial is known, final has to be found. Whenever things related to displacements are asked and time is there, mostly likely you will use this equation. It is u bar t plus half into a vector t square. And the last equation, v square, is nothing but u square plus 2a vector into s vector's magnitude, or you can just put a dot product, that is fine. But for 1D motion, you can just write it as as. This is actually a dot product. In case you have not studied dot product, you will learn that in vectors, or if you have studied dot product, you know that. So the third equation is v square is u square plus 2a vector dot s vector. Many kids do not know this. I have seen so many notes, so many books. Many books don't even discuss that it is actually the dot product of a acceleration and a displacement. Yep, Sajala, my daily classes are there, and if you are in the batch for JEE or NEET, you will see all of us, over there conducting daily classes in AI Live, and in the live batches you will see other teachers, all the amazing teachers in Vedantu teaching over there. So you can join us on YouTube, but if you want a systematic approach and you want test series and assignments and modules, go with the pro batches right in the description box out here. No, I have not yet taken vector session, but I will definitely take it. So just telling you over here, you will learn more about dot products later on. Anyways, last important formula is displacement in the nth second. When I say nth second, means in the previous 1 second. When I say 6th second, means from 5 to 6. in the last second of 6. When I say 7th second, that means from 6 to 7. When I say 100th second, that means from 99 to 100. If I say 20.5th second, that means from 19.5 to 20.5. So the previous 1 second. So if a particle is going, and let's say this is the time when it is n, this is the time when previous 1 second, so n minus 1. So this is basically the displacement in the last nth second. So this is displacement in the nth second, and the formula for that is u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. N is that value which you are going to put. They will directly give you the displacement in the 5th second is this much. The displacement in the 10th second is this much. You will put the value of 5, 10, whatever it is instead of n. That is what it is. Very important formula. Very important in those questions where you will see some nth second being used over there. These are the 4 important kinematic equations that one must know, and you should know also the condition under which you can use them. Let's start with some questions, and here it comes on your screen. Only when you solve the question you will be able to get it. Is a pro subscription for full time? Yes, it is for full time. It's for a 2-year course, and it is still JEE Advanced or NEET, whichever is the last exam. Till that time you will have complete support of whatever you are seeing over there. Can I get Tattva material without pro subscription? I'll pay the money for material. Yes, Rajesh, you can get it. Just leave a comment after the video ends. I will send you the link for getting the hard copy only of the material assignments and all those things which are there. Only the Vedantu material exclusive you will get without pro subscription. Just leave a comment. I will pin the link in the comment section. Okay, do not forget. So let's try to do this question. Velocity of a body along a straight line with uniform acceleration reduces to by 3/4 of its initial velocity in time t0. How much time of the body till its velocity becomes 0? Interesting. Interesting. Why would you need 1 year course, Shreya, for 11th standard? You will need 2 years, right? So we do have 2 years for 11th. For 12th, it is 1 year. If you want, then you can take the 12th standard course then. Okay, so let's see. For a body moving in a straight line with the acceleration a reduces by 3/4 of its initial velocity in time t0. Let's assume initially the velocity was u. Initially the velocity was u. After some time, the time is basically t0, the velocity reduces by 3/4 of its of its initial velocity. So 3u by 4 I have to subtract. So the remainder velocity will be just u by 4. Check this out. Does it make sense, guys? Does it make sense, everyone? So a lot of people think that the final velocity will be 3u by 4. That is wrong. The velocity reduces by 3u by 4. So the remaining velocity is just u by 4. Now let's try to do the math. After some time, what happens? Because it is retarding, eventually it stops. Eventually it stops. So the question is, what is the time over here? So always draw the situation. Write what you know, write what you don't know, and now start writing the equations. I know it is retarding. It is retarding, so acceleration is backwards. Hence, for the first part, I will say, okay, which equation can I use? I think I'll use v is u plus at, right? So if I use final velocity is initial velocity plus acceleration into time, I'll write final velocity is u by 4 is equal to initial velocity is u plus acceleration is minus a into the time, which is t0. Bring these people over here, so it will become a times of t0 is equal to u minus u by 4. So this will become 3u by 4. Naturally, the acceleration value will become 3u by 4 times of t0. So I found the value of acceleration in terms of u and t0. I'll just keep it aside. This is not going to help me right now, but maybe later on. Now, if you take the entire journey, right from here till here, let's apply again the same equation, kinematic equation. Final velocity is initial velocity plus acceleration into the total time. Let's do this. Final velocity is 0, initial velocity u, acceleration a, but actually minus a, into the time, which I do not know. Bring these people here. So a into t will be u. But wait a minute, I just figured out the value of acceleration. It was 3u by 4 t0. So it is nothing but 3u by 4 times of t naught. This is t and this is u cancels. So naturally t will become 4 by 3 times of t naught. I think that is the final answer. And is it there somewhere? Yes, it is there as option A. That's the correct one. Everybody with me on this? Rahul, don't worry. I'll pin the link, right? I will pin the link. But let me also tell you, the cost of the Tattva material is, going to include all the other assignments and other material also. So it will be very beneficial for all of you. So I'll pin you the link. You will be able to see all the things which are available along with that. Okay. Is pro subscription for full-time coaching without school, or is it like a tuition? It's a full-time coaching, complete coaching. You can completely depend on pro subscription. It is like proper coaching with tests, assignments, daily classes, doubt solving, discussions, test discussion, strategies, guidance, revision, end to end, like right from the beginning, scratch till the end, whatever you need. Okay, moving on to the next one. Two bodies A and B start from rest from the same point with uniform acceleration. If B starts 1 second later, then the two bodies are separated at the end by the end of the next second by how much? Let's try to analyze this. So here what do we have? We have body A and it starts at t is equal to 0. It starts accelerating at 2 meters per second square and it reaches somewhere, okay, from rest from the same point, and it accelerates, okay. B starts 1 second later. So by the time A has moved, B will start after 1 second. So at t is equal to 1 second, B starts, and it also accelerates by the same amount, 2 meters per second square. And B starts 1 second later, then the two bodies are separated at the end of the next second. After 1 second, B starts at the end of the next second. That means give it 1 more second. So that means basically at t is equal to 2 seconds, it would have reached here. 1 second elapsed. After that, B starts at the end of the next second. So 1 second after 1 second is 2 seconds. That's what it is. So at that time, you will see A will be somewhere over here. So the question is, what is this separation? This is what has been asked. What is the separation? It's very simple, I feel. What you can do, try to apply kinematic equations 2 times. How much will A travel? How much will B travel? The subtraction of these two will give you the remainder or the separation between them. So the displacement of A using S is ut plus half at square, ut plus half at square. Initial velocity 0 because it starts from rest, plus acceleration is 2 into time is 2 whole square because the time is 2. So this will be nothing but 4 meters, right? Now what you do next? Find a displacement of B. So the displacement of B will be again ut plus half a t square. Initial velocity 0. It starts from rest. Half into acceleration 2 into time. Time is not 2. Be careful about this. Time is 1 because it started 1 second later. So the time is just 1. So this is just going to be 1 meter. Now the last part of this is finding the separation. So this separation will be 4 minus this one. So 4 minus 1, which is nothing but 3 meters. That is the answer, guys. Is it there somewhere? Option C. Correcto. Correcto. That is option C. Everybody with me on this? Yep. The classes start. There are 2 kinds of batches, Joyce Mary. One is a evening batch or a late evening batch. Okay, so we have both kinds of batches. For students who get done early, we have a batch which starts at 4:45 or 5 o'clock, and there is another batch which starts after 6:30. So both the batches are there. You can take admission in any one of them. Yes, you are. No, you can join pro subscription even now. You are. It's not late because there is a batch starting right now. If you delay it further, then you will start feeling that squeeze. Time is limited. So the later you join, the portion will also end little bit late. And you will have limited time because at the end of the day, exam is at the same time. If you start early, you will get lot of time. If you start late, you will get less time. If you start even late, you will get even less time. So the things will start getting squeezed up. Right now, it's not late yet. It's not very late. Okay. After some point of time, you will be feeling that crunch of time. Now let's see this question. Wow, we have a question on BMW, guys. My goodness. A BMW starts from rest, accelerates with A and decelerates at B, comes to a halt in a total time of T. The total distance traveled is, my goodness. Let's try to do this question. So, do we have the diagram for this? I think I had put the diagram. Oh wow, this is the BMW. Look at the way it is nicely accelerating. So, it starts at rest over here. It reaches a top speed. Here it reaches top speed. Let's say the top speed is V. And then again it halts over here. This is at time is equal to T. Here it is accelerating. It reaches top speed and then it starts decelerating. Right? This is what it is. So the speed increases. As soon as it reaches top speed, it starts decelerating. Interesting. Let's say the time taken from here to here is T1. Time taken. And from here to here is, let's say, T2. Okay. And now the question is, find the total distance traveled. How are we going to do that? Let's try to do this. First of all, I think I do not know this speed. I just know acceleration is A and deceleration is B. Maybe I will use some kinematic equations. So how about using V is equal to U plus A into T. So if I use that, for the first segment, final velocity is V, initial velocity is 0, acceleration is A, time is T1. Okay, so from this, I'll get the time T1 as V by A, right? So time T1 is V divided by A. Now, for the second part, from here to here, final velocity is 0, final velocity is 0, initial velocity is V, initial velocity is V, acceleration is minus B, be careful, the deceleration is B. That means the acceleration is minus B. That is the catch. Many students make a mistake. And the time taken from here to here is only T2. It is only T2. Take this over here. B times of T2 is equal to V. Therefore, T2 is equal to V divided by B. Right? So we got this. Now what do we do? Now what do we do? Okay, now think about it. Once I get this time and this time, I know this time plus this time is the total time, which is T. So, using the fact that T is equal to T1 plus T2, T is equal to T1 plus T2, I can make use of these two things. So, it is V by A plus V by B. V is common, so I can write it as A plus B after LCM, and this is AB. Great. So, that is T. So, therefore, V is nothing but T times of AB divided by A plus B. Is that right? Everybody with me on this? Everybody with me on this? Velocity is T times of AB by A plus B. Oh, but the question is distance, not velocity. What do? I have an idea in my mind. If I think about the velocity with time graph, I know for a fact what is going to happen is the velocity will increase and again decrease. This is your time T. This is your time T. This is your maximum velocity which you have found here. Have you studied back in 9th grade what is the area under a velocity time graph going to give you? Have you studied this? I'm pretty sure you would have studied it. Thank you for all the love from Andhra. Thank you Silent Killer. Have you studied this? Average velocity not needed, Ishan. If you remember, that's it, your job is done. Come on guys, put it up in the chat box. What does area under velocity time give you? How acceleration is constant? Sridhar, only from here to here acceleration is constant. From here to here acceleration is constant. From here to here acceleration is not constant. So I have divided the problem into parts. Acceleration separate, deceleration separate. This part I solved here. This part I have solved it here. Separately with separate kinematic equations. And I found the time. The moment I substitute time, I get the value of velocity. I think I needed that. Yes, it gives me the displacement, and in this case, the displacement is also the distance traveled. So I know for a fact now, this area gives me displacement, but since you're not changing the direction, it is also the distance traveled. So the question is, what is the total distance traveled? So the area is half into base into height. So what is the base? Base is time. What is the height? height is V. Height is V. What is V? It is nothing but TAB upon A plus B. That is the distance. Hence, the distance traveled will be T square. So T square AB divided by 2 times of A plus B. That is the final answer. Beautiful. Isn't it great? Yes, Salva Karthik, I think you can get it, but not a very good branch, but some branch you will get. So it's a beautiful question of combination of multiple kinematic equations and also your, graph based things. All right. So let's go with the next question. I'm thinking. Okay. Yes, cool. So let's start with this. Just hold on, guys. Yeah. Is behighting the formula enough for cracking JEE? Definitely not silent killer. If I know many institutions do that, they make students by heart not just formulas, they make the students by heart questions right from morning till night. I'll not take names, but students are made to practice all kinds of problems. This kind of problem, solve it like this. This kind of problem, solve it like this. Morning till night, these students just do that. And the moment these students enter into IITs, they clear IITs, by the way. Yes, they clear IITs because they are just by heart at everything. And they just go somehow by fluke. Maybe not a great rank, but some random rank they get and they get into some IIT. And then once they enter IITs, they just drop out or they fail in the actual exam because they have been used to by hearting things, or they know this problem like this problem like that problem like this. I know so many students who have failed in IIT because they have by hearted questions and because of these institutions. It's crazy, it's madness. Okay, moving on. Free fall, time to fall, time to free fall. So guys, okay, free fall. Free fall means when you drop something, it falls because of the acceleration due to gravity, or basically anything is getting attracted by the gravitational pull of the earth, and everything, no matter what the mass is, even if you drop an elephant with a person, they will all accelerate by the same amount. So the acceleration due to gravity is same for all masses. We have neglect air resistance, and the value is G, which is very close to 9.8 meters per second square, but most of the times we will be taking it as 10 meters per second square approximately, most of the times. Great. Okay, in pro subscription you will also get boards coverage also. Yes, it is all automatically done. Yeah. Now, what kind of questions might come? It could be like, find the height it reaches, find how much time it takes to go up and come down. If I drop something, how much time will it take to fall? If I drop something, with what speed will it fall? So those kind of questions might come. Like for example, when I throw a ball up, what happens is, at the topmost point, remember, at the topmost point, the velocity will be 0. Also remember, when you throw something up, the time taken to go up and come down is the same. So whatever time it takes to go up is also the time taken by it to come down. Very, very important. Because the acceleration is the same. It takes the same time. So things like finding height, finding the time is very, very straightforward. Like for example, if you have to find how much is the maximum height, if I throw the ball with some speed, all you have to do is think of the kinematic equation which will be valid. The velocity becomes 0. This is the height. I'm throwing the ball up with some speed u. So what is the maximum height reached if I throw the ball with speed u? Remember, the acceleration due to gravity will be downwards. Always it acts downwards. So I think I can use, time is not there. So first equation gone, second equation gone, third equation. So I can use v square is u square plus 2as. So final velocity is 0, initial velocity is u, acceleration due to gravity, oops, 1 second, put 2 over here. Yeah. So acceleration due to gravity is minus g, reason being g is down, U is up. So if I take everything upwards positive, anything downwards will be negative. I have assumed everything upwards to be positive. Displacement is positive h. Why positive h? I'm going from here to here. I'm taking upward direction as positive. Always assume something as positive. Automatically the signs will get adjusted. Yep. I hope this is clear. Yes, BS Gaming, I'm having some bad throat. So that's why I'm not able to talk so much. That's the problem. Yep. So I'm fine. It's just that I have some irritation in this throat. That's all. Okay, so let's move on. So 2gh, if I take it over here, so 2gh is here, so this will be u square, so h will be nothing but u square by 2g. That's how you can get it. Similarly, you can also find how much time it takes to go up and come down. If you try to find how much time it takes to go up and come down, that will be the time of flight. The time of flight value comes out to be 2u by g. This is again a standard formula. U by g to go up, u by g to come down, so 2u by g is the total time. So these are standard results which you should know. Also, sometimes the question can be where you drop something from the top. Yeah, you drop something from the top. So if you drop something from the top, it accelerates downwards and hits the ground with certain velocity. So if this is height h, so sometimes you might be given what is the velocity with which it strikes. That velocity comes out to be root of 2gh. This is the speed just before it makes the impact. If the question is what time it takes to fall down, that time comes out to be as root of 2h by g. Again, these are all using kinematic equations. So you should know all these formulas. All these formulas you should know. Velocity of impact, time of flight, when you drop, time of flight when you throw from below and it comes over here, and the maximum height reach. These are all very important formulas. Yes, Pikachu, this is for NEET students also. Shelby, that's the whole process of AI Live, acha? Yeah, okay. Let's start solving some questions based on vertical motion. Which of the following graphs correctly represents velocity time relationship for a particle released from rest to fall freely under gravity? To fall freely under gravity. So you drop a particle, it falls down. Only one of them shows the correct relationship of velocity with time. Yes, you can always upgrade from Fusion, basically the AI Live to Pro. You can always change the subscription model to a higher one. Yes, you can always do that. Sir, u square minus 2s, why you keep plus? Sigala, I'm not sure in which. It's not u square minus 2s, it's u square plus 2s. Acceleration is negative. So a lot of people by heart that v square is u square minus 2s while going up. No, v square is always u square plus 2s. A can be positive or negative, s can be positive or negative. Accordingly, you're going to do that. Is it B? Very nice. Yes, the answer is B, because when you drop something, the velocity slowly increases. It increases. So it has to increase. Hence, the answer is B. Here the speed is reducing. Here it is increasing and decreasing. How is it possible? Here it is decreasing and increasing. No, this is also not true. So, in fact, this graph, you know what? This graph over here, option D, will be probably true for, no, this will also not be true for when you throw up. So, when you throw up something, okay, the speed reduces, becomes 0, and again it increases and increases. So I think this will be the graph. You can see that right over here. It is 0, becoming 0 over here. It is becoming 0 over here. The value is reducing, and then it becomes negative over here because it has changed the direction. So this will be for this one. When you throw it up, it goes up and comes down. So that would be option A. But when you drop something from the top, then this would be the correct graph, right? So moving on to the next one. A stone falls freely. What is your idea about average student interested to attend both JEE and NEET? I don't think average student Srinath should attend both JEE as well as NEET. You can give for the fun of it, but no, you should concentrate either on JEE or on NEET, not on both. That will really mess up your mind. Plus, Maths in itself is very heavy. Biology in itself is very heavy. You will not be able to handle 4 subjects together. Definitely not advisable. A stone falls freely under gravity. The total distance covered by it in the last second is equal to the distance covered by it in the first 3 seconds. Then the time for which the stone remains in air. Let's try to solve this question by first analyzing it. If you drop a stone over here, that is t is equal to 0. That means the velocity is also 0 because you're dropping it. It comes down, 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 just before hitting it. That's over here. So in the last second of its journey, if it takes n seconds to reach here, n minus 1 will be here. So this much is basically your last second. Check this out. This is n minus 1, this is n, this is the last second. So displacement in the nth second will be u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. Acceleration is 10 because g is 10, and this is 2, this is 2n minus 1. So this will be 5 into 2n minus 1. That is the displacement in the nth second. That's first thing. Is equal to the distance covered by it in the first 3 seconds. In the first 3 seconds it will reach here. This is t is equal to 3. This displacement in 3 seconds will be ut plus half at square. U is 0 because it has started from 0. Acceleration is 10. Time taken is nothing but 3. So that's it. So 10 by 2 is nothing but 5, and 3 square, that is nothing but 9. That is nothing but 9. So this is going to be nothing but 45 meters. So what I got from this is the first 3 seconds displacement is 45 meters, and that happens to be equal to the displacement in the last second. So this is 45 and this is equal to 5 into 2n minus 1. So 45 by 5, that's going to be 9, is equal to 2n minus 1. So 2n will be 10. So n will be 5 seconds. That's the answer. N will be 5 seconds. See this? Yep, that is correcto. Amazingo. Amazingo. Everybody cool with this? Everybody understood this question? Awesome. Awesome. So it's all about knowing how to apply the kinematic equations. This was the 4th equation. This was the 2nd equation. You should know when to use this because the word equals was used. That's why I know SNth is equal to 45. That's why I have imported the value over here. Let's do one last question. This is a beautiful question. Beautiful question. No, I'm not teaching the English batch, need droppers. Yep. But if you're in the JEE batch, yes, I'm there. But don't worry, the NEET batch teachers are amazing. I mean, no matter whether I'm teaching or not teaching, don't worry about that. So let's try to understand this. A man in a balloon is rising vertically up with an acceleration, release a ball after 2 seconds, and the greatest height about the ground where the ball reaches is asked. Let's try to analyze it. Okay, so what has happened is there is this hot air balloon over here, and there is this Pandu. This is the man. He starts rising up with an acceleration of 5 meters per second square. After some time, what happens? He reaches somewhere over here and he drops a ball. He drops a ball over here at this point of time. After what seconds? 2 seconds. This is at t is equal to 2 seconds. By the time he has gained some velocity. Now the balloon continues to go higher, that is irrelevant. But because at this point of time, the balloon has some velocity and the balloon has already reached some height over here, you will see that even the ball has that velocity. When I'm holding that ball just like this before dropping it, me, the balloon, the ball, every one of us are going with some same speed like this. You're all going with the same speed, correct? So when I drop it, that time it already has some upward motion because of inertia. So first the ball will go up and then it will come down. So even the ball has the same velocity, because of which what you will see is the ball will go up slightly and then it will come down. So from here it will also reach certain height we can find that, and that is what is needed. How much total height it goes up from the ground. So I have just made you visualize the scenario. It is very important to notice that the ball does not have zero velocity when you leave it, because the ball is already in motion. I need to figure this velocity out. I'm just going to find that in a bit. Let me call this as V1. This is also V1. This is also V1. Okay. So how can I find V1? V1 will be U plus AT. U is 0 because you obviously start from rest over here, and U is 0. Acceleration is 5. Okay. Time is 2 seconds, you can see. So 5 into 2. So this is 10 meters per second. Amazing. I found V1. Oh, I think I will need this height also, because I have to find the total height. So let's say I call this as height H1. So H1 will be UT plus half AT square. U is 0. Acceleration is 5. Time is 2. So 2 square. 2 cancels. 2 5s are 10. So this is 10 meters. That is height H1. Okay, great. Now comes this part. I need to find this height also. How do I find this height? Remember, I just gave you certain formulas. Right over here. Where did it go? Yeah, see this? The height, when you throw a ball up, the maximum height reached is U square by 2G. When you throw a ball up, the maximum height reached from the point where you throw it is U square by 2G. I think I will need that right over here. So let's use that. This height will be V1 square by 2G. Everybody agrees with this? So let's try to do this now. What is V1? V1 is 10. I have found it out. So 10 square by 2 into G. G is 10. 10 cancels. So this will be 10 by 2. 10 by 2 is nothing but 5 meters. Awesome. I found H2. I found H1. But the question is, what is the greatest height above the ground? So this is what has been asked. This is the greatest height from the ground. So that H will be H1 plus H2. H1, like you can see, is nothing but 10. H2, like you can see, is 5. So this will be 15 meters. That is the final answer. And do I have such an option? Option C. C for captain, C for correcto. Great. Awesome. Awesome. Selva Karthik, that is not just true for IITs, bacha, that is true for your life. So a lot of people think, okay, after I go to IITs, my life is chill. Yeah, life is much more chill than a student who does not go to IIT. Because a student who does not get into IIT, he has to work harder, he has to prove his worth and all of that. When you are in IIT, obviously, you already have achieved a standard and, people respect you and all of that. But in IIT, the competition is even fierce because you are having all brainiacs around you. So yes, you have a head start, but you cannot stop there. Then you'll be like, okay, sir, after getting a job, can I chill? No, you will not be able to chill even after getting a job. So that's what life is, bacha. So don't think that, okay, my life is settled or life is done or I don't have to do anything in life once this exam is done. You all feel that just because you have exams, you all have, these tests, these competitive exams, and you feel, okay, just God, please let this test be over. Let the board exams be over, and then I know my life is chill. You felt the same thing after 10th, didn't you? But is it over? Now you have 12th. Do you think it is going to be the same thing after 12th? No, it's going to be IIT. After IIT, maybe you would want to get into postgrad. Maybe you want to go to ISC. Maybe you want to go to MIT. Maybe you want to do some nice master's degree. It will not end there. Then after that, you might want a very good job. Then after the job, you might want a very nice promotion. And after the promotion, I don't know, you might want something else. I want to buy a bigger house. So life is a test, bacha. So stop thinking that JEE and NEET is your exam. JEE and NEET is not your exam. JEE and NEET is just one of the exams in your life. The life itself is a big exam. Try to understand that. Okay. So yeah, that's it. That's it for today. So guys, all those of you who wanted to know more about the courses, let me just explain that to you in a little bit detail. Out here, yep, I'll just show you where you can find it. That's me. You're watching this video, just go down below over here, and all you need to do is you can see these avail exciting courses. Now, what are these courses? One is NEET, one is JEE. Prices are exactly the same for NEET and JEE, no difference at all. Like I'll show it to you. NEET, you can see everything over here. You can see the price over here, 14,850. Same thing. If you open up JEE also, you will get the same price, 14,850 for 2 years. This is 2-year price. 14,850 is a 2-year price. Now what do you get? Be it JEE, be it NEET. You obviously have the option of choosing English or English. You have basically in-class doubt solving, quizzes, leaderboard, hotspots, notes, replays, recordings, everything available. VIP, that is if you don't improve, money is returned back. All India test series, yes. Tattva material, yes. Study material, assignments, yes. But in PDF. If you want the hard copy, then you go for the higher version, that is called as the Pro Classic. Pro Classic is for 79,200, and here you not only get the hard copy, but you also get the live discussion of the test series, and you also get post-class doubt solving. That is what you get. If you don't want post-class doubt solving and you're okay with not getting the hard copy, then you go for the Pro Lite version. In Pro Lite, you get live classes, and here also you get live classes, obviously. These classes are recorded, but the classes are live. That means students are live, doubt teacher is live, polls, hotspots, quizzes are live. So these are recorded classes, but it feels like live. These are complete live classes. So these are being conducted live by the master teachers. I would say go for anything, depends on your personal preference. If you feel that recordings are okay and I'm okay with, doubts being solved and I'm okay with the soft copy, go with this. Beautiful course. Everything is same. The tests will be the same for all the batches. The same test is given to all the batches. Same assignment goes to all the batches. The same revision is done for all the batches. It's not like, oh, you paid less, you will not get revision. No, it's the same thing, just that the features are different. So just like you have models in the iPhone or any phone, it's the same thing. You'll be able to make calls no matter which phone you buy. So you'll be able to crack JEE or NEET no matter which course you go for. And you also can see there are EMI options available right over here. You can save a lot of money using the coupon code SHHPRO. You have 0 interest EMI options, like you have 3-month option, 4,950. You can see that is valid for all the other courses as well. All right. So make sure you make the best use of it. And this is the full-fledged course. You don't need to join any other batch. Board syllabus is also taken care of in these kind of batches. Yep. Rain Man Riverboat, maybe after some time. How much Tattva material approximately? The Tattva material, I'll just post the link, Rahul. Maybe you can check it out. I don't remember the correct rate. Okay. I'll probably pin the link up. All right. Yes. So I hope you guys had a fun-filled session today. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. See you again next time, and get all your friends also, okay? Keep rocking, all my legends, all my warriors. Keep fighting till the end, because we have to crack JEE and NEET 2024. Bye-bye. Hasta la vista. Take care.